There's something deeply unsettling about this whole episode, and not just because of the names involved. On the surface, it reads like a story of documents, ID numbers, and law enforcement. But underneath, it feels like a glimpse into the undercurrents of power, fear, and mistrust, shaping South African politics today. Start with the man at the center, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala, a businessman and an accused in an attempted murder case, not the kind of person usually associated with state intelligence files. The mere suggestion that he had access to documents linking 3 different identity numbers to President Cyril Ramaphosa begs a human question. How does someone like that get such sensitive data? If it's genuine, then someone inside the system, Home Affairs, intelligence, or perhaps private data brokers, gave him those records deliberately. That means there's a leak, and leaks don't happen in isolation. They happen when insiders have motives, political, financial, or personal. Now look at why he sent it to the Hawks. Was it an act of conscience, a warning, or a veiled threat? In politics, information is currency, and in moments of instability, it becomes a weapon. Sending it to a high-ranking Hawks officer could have been Matlala's way of saying, I have information you can't ignore, and I know things. Alternatively, it could have been a move to redirect attention, to entangle the Hawks in a politically loaded case, making it harder for them to move against him. Then comes the timing, and this is crucial. This revelation surfaces not long after Ramaphosa acknowledged knowing or being friendly with people allegedly tied to the Maumela Syndicate, a network that itself is steeped in controversy around judicial influence and state contracts. That coincidence doesn't feel random. In politics, damaging information tends to emerge precisely when a figure appears most vulnerable. It's the art of political timing, an old tactic designed to erode public trust and unsettle internal alliances. Even if the information turns out to be untrue or exaggerated, the seed of doubt lingers. And that brings us to the heart of it, the question of the 3 ID numbers. For most ordinary South Africans, that sounds absurd. How could one man, especially the president, have 3? The simplest explanation is bureaucratic. Home Affairs errors, old system merges, or clerical duplication. But to the public imagination, it sounds like deceit, as though the president might have secret identities, hidden dealings, or shadow accounts. Even without evidence, that imagery is powerful. It doesn't need to be proven to be politically effective. It only needs to be believable enough to cast doubt. Put all this together, and what emerges is not just a scandal, but a symptom of a political ecosystem built on mistrust and manipulation. Information, true, false, or somewhere in between, is being weaponized. Figures like Matlala become pawns or brokers in that battle, while institutions like the Hawks are pulled into the crossfire. And for Ramaphosa, this adds to the growing sense that his presidency exists in a permanent state of siege, from factions within his own party, from those still loyal to the Zuma-era networks, and from opportunists who understand the value of a well-timed leak. At a human level, it's also a story about fear, the fear of exposure, the fear of betrayal, the fear that loyalty is never certain. It's the kind of fear that corrodes democracies from within, slowly replacing truth with suspicion. If you made it this far, I assume you really enjoyed this video. Please help us by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Also let us know, what do you think of this shocking story in the comments section. Thank you for watching.